Are we in a dip? We might be in a dip. But if we just spend more money, our gallery values, they won't go down anymore.
I don't think that's how it works, Andy.
Well, okay, but my plan is going to be play Classic, win the new in-season cards, and then I'll just churn and I'll be swimming in cash.
You realize that's going to be really hard, right?
Well, let's just wait until the end of February. Then we'll have all the info like on the prize pools and stuff.
Like 2025? Hello and welcome into SorareAndrews here on the Sorare Data Show. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Today, they just keep lying to ourselves, man. Andy, how does it feel?
Feels good to get a bit back in.
There it is. Yeah. Apologies last week for not doing that. Scosmo here. Prize pool announcement watch along. Can you imagine?
It'd be fun.
Just refreshing Sorare as we're waiting for it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Thanks everyone for coming in. Bob Franklin, Kev Hurd, and Scosmo on the podium today. Surface to air missile, just missing out.
Bubble boy.
Yeah, totally. Sorare Juju, what's up? Where are we? Mike Bastin, looking for food. Appreciate everybody coming in. Jacob, Shaforkel, Stefan. Ooh, Shudude. Daily listener catching live for the first time. Thank you very much for coming in. Toby, what's up? Foosball Vicen, maybe. Braden, Tom, Sorare Holland. Oh, everyone's here. Sorare Galaxy. Let's go. Kev Hurd, skits intro for each show, please. That's what we're doing here. And Johannaton, what's up? Andy, did you know that the end of February goes until March 20th?
Huh? Is this some weird leap year thing that I don't know about?
Shoe dude. Here we go. No, it isn't. It's not. It's just we don't know anything now, Andy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, they had an extra day. It's leap year. They had an extra day.
We're living it right now.
Yeah.
This is the day. Seize the day. All I got. Wow, Chani back from Mallorca. What a nice little flex there. Jeez. Anyway, so Brendan says I'm currently watching MLS cards with $5 floors sell for $150. Back in, I'm old enough, Andy, to remember when one whale could save the whole platform, and now apparently it's not enough. You know what the biggest difference is? I realized that when was it a bottle bore who was the first one who did it, who just like swept every floor and everybody was like, yes, we're back.
Was it him?
It was either a bottle bore or Roxy, I think. That was like the true, like, what is this guy? Like the 6 Kinich rares for 20 grand each. And they was just like, I'll take them all. And Pranksy's not doing that. He's giving all his money to Sorare. And I think everyone else is like, dude,
you're forgetting Mr. Karupu. Mr. Karupu was like OG buying literally everything.
From other people too?
Just definitely from the market.
Oh, yeah. Meaning the secondary? I didn't know that.
No, definitely from auctions. I don't know so much on secondary. I'm sure he was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mike Basson said a bottle bore was a standalone, came in after a quiet spell, whale-wise. Yeah. So I warned you before this that I was going to
complain,
be a little negative. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to go into it, but
you have a whole show tomorrow to complain.
You're right. Yeah. But I just want to start us off with the lies we tell ourselves. The lie that I've been telling myself lately is that Sorare will definitely announce prize pools at the end of February like they said they would.
Yeah. Do you think that they still don't know what they are? Like they're still sorting them out? Or do you think that they have it, but they're waiting to release the communication?
So based on their very official last update, which came from Paul in Discord in a response to somebody asking about it. No, I don't think it's done. I don't think they know yet. And it feels a little concerning. Nothing I can do about it, but it's like, man, it'd be nice if you guys had just finished this already.
I don't see this concerning. It's just we want it. That's it. That's it. We want it. Right?
We
I want it.
yes.
Give it to me now.
Yeah. Like, obviously we want it. It's just,
like, what's it going to change for you? Is it going to change your buying behavior?
maybe.
I said it would, but I'm still out here bidding on Ricky Pooge cards and doing other stupid shit. So,
I would just prefer to have my dumb purchases be justified by what I know is coming.
yeah.
I knew it, and somebody's like, why on earth would you do that? And I was like, well, it's because I figured out that in Challenger on this game week they'll have more money, but like, we don't know anything about it. And I'm actually just more bothered by the duplicate delay in Nicola saying like it's definitely coming in January, and then it came in February, and then don't worry, it's definitely coming in February, and it's coming in March. And they made such a big deal about announcing things so that people have plenty of time, and now they're releasing the details 2 weeks before it goes live.
Yeah, we need to just like condition ourselves and put a 2 to 4 week buffer on anything that they say.
How about they do that instead of us? How about like?
Well, we already know that's not happening. They're not going to do that. So we need to condition our brains to have 2 to 4 weeks of buffer.
They need to just stop putting deadlines out there. Like, just don't tell us. It's so much worse to tell us a deadline.
What about the deadline for when they're releasing the MLB cards? They said that they're going to come out on like March 5th or something.
Yes, 7th, I think.
Do you like that they gave that?
Yes.
But what if they don't hit it?
That's really fucked up. If they do not release cards on March 7th, we are all sitting there being like, you really fucked up.
Yeah.
I also love that they're selling the old ones until March 4th. Like, just squeezing every last day out of the
Yeah, there might be something in there that you want. You might want the 89th mint of, I don't know, some super rare that didn't get 89 mints.
Yeah. Well, apologies for swearing there, but like, I really think they need to stop doing that. It's my only piece of advice. Like, everybody talks about how like the communication isn't great, and I think the communication itself is fine, but it's the constant missed deadlines.
So
when we're not asking for those deadlines.
What's the complaint? The communication or the missing the deadlines?
Andy, they should never be late. I can be late. They cannot be late on their own deadlines.
Okay.
That's my issue.
Yeah.
And they worded it like they were so proud of themselves for getting the update out early. And they were like, you have plenty of time, but we'll get the details later. Don't worry. And now it's like, we don't. Yeah. ZMstar, exactly. They're self-imposed deadlines.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just tell us they're coming later.
Or hit the deadline.
Also an option. Yeah. Good point. How do you feel as an American with MLS cards coming out today and the announcement of Major League Baseball coming back for 2024?
Oh, it's like an American's wet dream. It might as well be
totally,
4th of July.
Right? Yeah, just boners all day. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about baseball now. Are you buying any MLS cards to play in season? Are you doing it right now?
Yeah.
Ooh. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I can win money.
How do you know?
Because they said that I could.
How much money can you win?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm going to win it.
You're going to win it. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm gonna win it.
Are you? I feel weird asking your strategy because it's all auctions now and people, but like,
No, I don't care.
is your strategy going to be any different than what you've been doing previously? Like, you're going to buy cards you already own, the just new versions of it, or?
Actually, I have like my strategies are pretty fun, I think. So all the new STL City cards that don't exist yet. So like uh, Totland and Dyer will get a new season card. Trying to think of who else off the top of my head.
Were they one of the 4 teams they don't have yet?
Yeah, they don't have their cards minted yet. Like a Durkin, I don't have his St. Louis card yet. So like all these cards that I don't have their St. Louis City cards of yet, I'm gonna buy their new season cards.
Okay.
So those will be part of a crappy St. Louis City in season, new season team that I'm gonna run.
Yeah.
So I'll have that, and then I'm gonna actually make a good team. I've got a PSV stack, so I'm gonna take my PSV stack. I had to buy a Joey Veerman today on auction because I couldn't. Nobody wanted to trade the old season for the new season, so I bought the new season on auction. Going to sell the old season one because who needs 2 Joey Veermans? Although it's going to be really hard to sell the old Joey Veerman because he's going to be out this weekend. So I might be holding that bag for a week or something. So that's kind of annoying. But then I'm going to end up having like a PSV, Ricky Puig, Lionel Messi type of team. So that's going to be fun. So I'll have that. Those are going to be in rare. Super rare, I don't know if I'm going to do anything there. I'll only have the old season stuff. I don't really have any new in-season challenger stuff. So yeah.
You're going to get a new season Puig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that way I can run Benitez, Biscagli, Veerman, Puig, and an old season Messi.
Yeah, I'm just not going to play in season.
You should.
I don't want any of that smoke.
I mean, hey, any given week, right? Any given Sunday.
I don't think I even have any new season challengers cards. Now I have to check. Like literally, I don't think I have any. Kirchu, that's who I have. That's it. And a backup goalie. Ah, well, have fun.
Run that backup goalie.
I could. I could. Toby said that lineup isn't fair. I agree.
Agreed.
Ban PSV, Puig, Messi stacks.
Hey, I feel like everybody needs to have like one of those teams in their life that's just like every week you set it and you're like expecting it to win.
Yeah. I wonder what that's like.
Maybe Laird, you could make like a limited version of it. It's funny is I'm only doing it at rare. There's people probably out there doing like you've got your Pranksies and whatnot that are doing it at super rare and unique levels.
What do you think the top prize will be in Challengers new season rare?
Don't even have a guess.
I think it's like 2,500 for Premier League, right?
So maybe like half of that.
Let's see. 3,000 is the first place for Premier League rare this weekend. And I thought Premier League was supposed to be the same as Challengers. Just with so many.
That can't be right. They wouldn't make those two the same, I don't think.
Andy, I think they're exactly the same.
Well, great.
Hold on. Oh wait, I don't have the screen up here. From one of the blogs, we have Champion Challenge. Yeah, Premier League 200 Challengers higher.
Oh, look at that! Perfect. Didn't even have all the info. We're making great decisions over here.
This is
you guys all want all the info. I don't even need the info.
Illustrative purposes only. or illustration purposes if we were drawing it with crayons.
What does that even mean, though? Does that just mean that they're like those are guides?
The thing I would, yeah, like I think the ratios are probably correct, or yeah, but not necessarily the actual numbers.
Or the ratios are correct when like everything's running.
Maybe. I mean, everything's running now, basically.
Yeah. But like when, let's say, June rolls around and
right,
the European teams aren't playing and it's just MLS, will that number drop? I would expect it to.
Surely. Yeah. I didn't notice this, Juju, and you're right. That like, yeah, it's supposed to be champions and challengers and contenders. Only one Premier League, though.
Wait. We don't know that. We don't know that. Maybe it's wrong in the other spot, and these are actually correct. I mean, is it Premier Leagues?
It's Premier's League.
They did say, though, that you said that was for illustration purposes only, so maybe the S being not there is...
That's part of the illustration? Little artistic... what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
I got nothing. It says here in the illustration later on for champion, which is much higher. Never mind. I don't even want to go into that. Andy, what other lies do you tell yourself on Sorare?
Well, the ones that I shared at the beginning were all lies. I think that we all kind of tell ourselves, like the one with just trying to win all of the new season stuff. I think you certainly can win new season stuff, and I think that you certainly can. But my plan is to do that for depth purposes. I'm going to try to come in, and I told this to someone else this morning. One of my goals with like my PSV MLS team, PSV is going to be done with their season in like May. I would love to win enough end season cards to where I roll that depth over into the summer, and now I have, which I'll already have enough, but if I can win a few more, now I have my summer depth kind of built out.
Yeah. So you just win Berkey, Wagner.
It doesn't have to be Berkey.
Carlos Heel.
Jimmer had a fun stat on Berkey. He's kept one clean sheet since Leagues Cup, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's like what, July?
One.
Huh. Goalkeeper of the year.
MLS at its best, man.
Yeah.
MPen replied to the tweet with a few that I liked, one of which was basically, I'm going to hold on to this ETH for a while. I had an ETH balance, a fairly big ETH balance for me, and I had no intention of buying anything. And I was like, I went like a week or two with not buying anything, and I was like, this feels all right. Like I don't have anything. And then like one card popped up and I bought it, and then another, and then another. And then the worst thing is I bought a bunch. I probably shouldn't give this away, but not enough people watch this. So I basically FOMO'd into a in-season limited Premier League team, and now I want out. And I was joking with Keith. I bought all of those with ETH because I had ETH. I didn't have cash. And every offer I'm getting is for cash. Like I'm the guy who's going to be converting from ETH to cash and just being like, oh yeah, this.
I'm with.
There's a wrong way to play Sorare. I'm doing it right now.
I love getting those cash offers on things because that's my funny bad decision money. There's probably a lie that I tell myself in there somewhere, but I don't want to know what it is.
So Keith and I basically have been joking while not joking to each other that cash is just the fake money. Like we want to accumulate ETH and be like, oh, it's just, I bought it on cash. It's fine. And I now feel like it's the opposite of our show with Evaldo years ago when he's like, ETH isn't real. And I'm like, oh, cash isn't real. It's just cards.
Yeah, it's like it's completely opposite now. It's completely flipped.
Right.
Which
Scosmo says, "Lie, I tell myself cards are priced in ETH."
yeah, but like you mentioned, trying to keep a ETH balance. I think that's easier right now than it's ever been. Just with us, like with the price of ETH going up literally every single day, it's like makes it harder and harder for me to want to spend ETH, and easier and easier for me to want to spend cash.
So I did have the weird thought of like, oh, if I sell these cards in cash, now I'll have like cash to play around with. But I don't want the cash. Like I don't want cash to play around with. I want ETH that I know I won't really want to use. Yeah. Big Gustago says, why is converting to cash bad? I just don't want cash. I just don't. I prefer cash because I buy beers in cash. See, I have like cash I use for beers, and then I have cash I use for JPEGs. And
the big issue is if you ever did want to, you can't even cash your cash out.
That is correct.
There's no way to do it. It's impossible.
Is there actually no way to do it?
I think there's no way to do it.
What are we doing? That's a problem with the US users.
If I look at my Sorare wallet, I can withdraw cash. Yeah, maybe you can. I don't know.
Withdraw cash.
I'll go through. Maybe I'll go through this later today.
Yeah, I might do the same thing.
And just like withdraw $1. See if it works. I've been saying this for like ever that you can't withdraw cash, and maybe I'm lying. Maybe I've been a lie I've been telling myself and everyone else.
The only reason why I think this is true is because we've had like other people tell us this.
Yeah. Well, like Surface just said it works. And if anybody knows about a withdrawal working, it would be Surface. So
good point. Good point. Yeah. Big Gustavo said, I think I can. I've never tried, but it gives me a cash out button, maybe because I'm in Europe. I think Europeans have been able to do it for a while. Ryan says, what's more useless, a JPEG on the internet or cash on Sorare?
I don't know. I can use plenty of I can use that cash on auctions. Maybe like 50% of people will take it as well in manager to manager offers.
I'm amazed at how many people I came across when I was trying to get these Premier League cards that have a cash wallet and like could not accept ETH they claim. Like, you know, it was like, so I don't know if they were just like, I'm a cash only bro, or it was they literally don't have an ETH wallet connected. Is that possible? Do they let people do that now?
What, not have an ETH wallet? Yeah, I think that was part of
it.
Yeah.
To non-believers. How often do you lie to yourself about your lineups?
Like every game week, buddy. Every game week. You should see my results this week. Oh my God. You know, like one of the big lies that actually like really came up this game week is midweek utility adds value to these cards. But so yeah, for teams that play in maybe Champions League, it does, but teams that play in these other competitions like Europa's Fringe, Europa Conference League, CONCACAF Champions League. I mean, honestly, I would rather my team not make it into those competitions because, I mean, I don't even mean that tongue in cheek. It's not a joke, not a joke at all. Like, I don't want St. Louis to ever make it into CONCACAF Champions League again, ever, because they rotated in every single game they've played so far, and they're probably going to rotate this weekend. They haven't played a game yet this year. They've rotated every game, and it's not just like they've rotated one or two guys. I mean, they just played in an elimination game in Houston, where you think that they're probably going to maybe take the competition seriously, and they don't take it seriously at all. They don't play any of their starters. There's maybe 4 starters on the field or something. It's like literally elimination game when we're playing 4 starters. So, like, obviously my Sorare lineups did not agree with what the coach's decisions were, and I'm sitting here with DNPs. Yeah, Tobias said that Houston rotated a bunch too, but Houston, I mean, like 3 of their best players are out injured as well. So, like I think that's part of like the annoyance too as a St. Louis fan. It's like the other team is like literally 3 of their best players are out. They've got to rotate too. You're probably playing against like Houston's Dynamo 2 type players.
Yeah.
And like go win. And they didn't want to win, I guess.
We shouldn't be happy now because they're out.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I am. But like you saw it with Philly doing it as well. Like I think Cincinnati and Nashville got a little bit lucky getting to play those Canadian teams. Those Canadian teams ended up being just absolute dreadful.
Orlando too.
Yeah, Orlando. And you saw a lot of rotation on those teams, but I think that at least in the first game, they all took it pretty seriously. They got their big lead, and then they got to rotate in the second game.
Like the Orlando one, we talked about it a ton, like who was going to rotate and all that stuff. Like there was a conversation that rotation would happen. And yeah, some of these others, I thought you were going to say, and maybe this was less an issue that you've had to deal with given like your gallery, but the number of people who will buy a card because they're like, oh, and he has midweek utility. And you're like, oh, do you have other midweek cards? And they're like, nah, but I'm sure I'll get one. I'll get a few. Don't worry about it. And you're just like, all right, so you're now paying for utility that you can't actually utilize.
EFL players probably kind of qualify for that a little bit because they play so many freaking games. Except for goalkeepers, the nice thing is goalkeepers don't tend to rotate a ton. So like, it's always nice to have, I feel like, one of their goalkeepers.
Agreed. That midweek was always just like a myth. That like there are fewer rewards in the midweek. What we've seen is that they're generally worse than the weekend. Like the actual, like, you don't get the best rewards those weeks. Every so often they'll sprinkle them in. And then, you need other players to play. And you're just like, boy, I really got myself in a pickle here. Server said, do we know if the classic away handicap applies to all MLS games or does distance factor into it? For example, Galaxy at San Jose this game week. I don't know.
That's a good question. I think I saw last week 1 of MLS. Was it every home team won or tied?
The only one that didn't was Austin, the worst team in the league.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
So like based on that small sample of data, I would say distance doesn't matter, but also it's like the smallest amount of data, and I don't know who played who. So
I also think it's funny because Surface is implying that LA to San Jose is really short. And it's basically like, I assume the length of England, like we'll see those, these people drove 12 and a half hours in order to get to these games. We're like, oh yeah, it's LA to San Jose.
Yeah, it's not even just distance too. It's like climate and elevation. So you have like RSL plays in the mountains, Colorado plays in the mountains.
Yep.
And then you have like some teams that are like in the desert. And then you have some teams that are playing in Toronto and it's 20 degrees out right now. So
that's 20 Fahrenheit for those.
Right. So it's like, 0. Lower, whatever.
Negatives.
Hey, I'm not a metric guy.
Ryan also adds a summer domes on turf. Shout out to Atlanta United is one, I know.
Hey, they're totally unrelated to anything, but we like to have these. So Celsius and Fahrenheit, metric, and what do we call ours? What's our system of measurement?
Is it just, I don't know. Does it have a name other than just the right way?
We'll just call it American.
I think it's
Imperial, I think. Imperial, right? Imperial. So like we have all these different like ways of measuring things, but when it comes to calendars, globally across the world, we've all agreed upon one calendar. Why is that?
I think China disagrees with you.
Really? They have like their own calendar?
I mean, it's like we're like celebrating Chinese New Year right now. Year of the Dragon? Yeah, man.
I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, but yeah. Why the hell did we talk about that?
But do they not have like 12-month calendar that though? Like it's probably still the same, right? Do they have leap years?
Do they? Yeah.
I need to know these things, and we need to solve them now.
How would you even, like, if you were trying to figure that out, would you just go to Google and be like, is it Thursday in China? Or like, is it February?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Is it February 29th in China right now?
I don't know. Actually, can you do me a favor? Because we noticed this. If you could go on your computer there and go on Sorare Data and look up, I don't remember what his first name is. Hold on. Look up Marco Carnesecchi. He's a goalkeeper for Atalanta. Can you tell me what his birthday is?
Marco with a C?
Yeah.
Okay. He's born on June 30th, 2000.
So we discovered a little bug today. His birthday is actually July 1st. But Opta started sending us birth times, and midnight in either Paris or London is 6 p.m. or 5 or 7 p.m. here. So all of our in the US birth dates are a day early on Sorare Data.
This is a big deal for U23, man.
Not really. There's probably only like 3 players that it actually affects who have birthdays actually on. Although we also discovered you have to be, it's July 2nd and later. It's not like July 1st is the last day of the over 24 space.
That's another thing that we haven't come to an agreement on is time. So like calendars and then time. So like, yeah, we have the UTC and like a lot of like people that work in like IT and stuff utilize UTC, but everybody's got to have their own time zone and their own times across the world. It's another interesting one.
Aber says, I don't know if I can handle more Sorare chat after today. And yet here we are talking about time zones and anyway. Yeah, not to mention MLS time, which is always just 12 to 17 minutes late.
Right.
Although I am on the team, they always start on time. They just don't tell us the time that they're starting.
There's a website, MLS Kickoff Times, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, MLS Kickoff Times. And if you go on there, it will give you the real start time. Like for instance, this weekend, the announced start time of the Salt Lake LAFC game was 1 o'clock, or is 1 o'clock, is going to be 1 o'clock. The actual kickoff time will be 1:09. And then like most of them are 9-minute differentials, but I've seen like, like if it's like a nationally broadcasted game, sometimes it's like way off. It's like 40 minutes off or something.
Yeah. Mike Basson said, I was born at midnight, and back then it was classed as 2400. Yet now my birthday would be a day later, as midnight is 0. Are you a 24-hour
hey, that's another one. That's another way of measuring things that we all seem to want to do our own way. The military does it one way, and us civilians have to do it another.
Do you know who else uses military time, if you will?
I don't know. Sorare.
Quinny.
Okay.
Quinny. He sent me, we were trying to figure out a time for something. And he was like, that's 1500, right? And I was like, yeah, 3 o'clock. We're good to go. Bobby here. Bobby? I saw Mr. Black bidding on Pooch.
Pooch. I like that.
Any other cards you have in mind?
Just whenever they come out with St. Louis stuff. And then, I don't know, I'm sure I'll like get bored tonight and just start looking at auctions and be like, oh, it'd be nice to
That looks cool. Yeah. Haber says most.
He's got a great name.
Ricky Bush. Yeah, everybody says this. Everybody's using it. Why do we call it military time if everybody in Europe uses it? Why don't we just call it European time?
Yeah, it's European time.
I was thinking of any more lies, but I don't have any. I'm a very truthful person to myself.
What are other things that we measure that are not congruent?
Tackles won versus duels won.
Oh man, yeah. And then even like put that into contest as well. One contest.
There's really no reason to have contests and duels won as separate categories on Sorare.
What's your thoughts on the yellow card that's a foul that's also a duel lost for a defender? I mean, it's like negative 8 or 9 points on one play.
Just don't foul him.
What if it's a good foul? Now you're giving a guy negative 8 points for a good foul.
Yeah. I think that's just unfortunate. That's just part of
You have to have it in the Matrix. I agree. Like,
yeah.
What are we gonna have? Like we've got good high claims and good yellows.
Good yellow, yeah. I mean, sometimes they're like game-saving fouls.
Right.
Should that be a positive decisive? It's like a last man tackle, basically.
I mean, imagine some Opta guy making the subjective decision on whether that's a good yellow or not. I mean,
yeah, because they've absolutely nailed the high claim, good or bad.
Yeah.
Is there a bad high claim? There is, isn't there?
No.
That's not what they call it.
Like ball not claimed, I think.
Yeah, cross not claimed.
Cross not claimed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically a bad claim, a bad low claim.
It's probably you just bobble, like you probably have to touch the ball and you bobble it or something.
Yeah. What if they like punch it though, because they're like exactly what they wanted to do, and somebody just gets it, and I don't know.
Tobias said the Suarez handball in the World Cup has to be a positive decisive. Unfortunately not. It looks like a negative 20 points to me.
Sora Malta says in the bedroom you should measure in centimeters to make yourself feel better. Anyway, Jack says when a player wins a penalty and someone misses it and they don't get the penalty one is the worst rule in Sorare. Andy, do you think that's the worst rule in Sorare?
No, but I agree. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Do you think they deserve a decisive?
I think what I would do if I were Zorro...
There's one right answer here, Andy. Don't blow this.
No, there's not one right answer. But I would give for all penalties won, I would give like plus 10 points. And not give you a decisive if it's converted or not converted. So if you win the penalty, you get plus 10. If you miss the penalty, you get minus 10. Which minus 5 for BCM and minus 5 for a missed penalty. And then if you, I think, like for causing the penalty, you could do minus 10 or negative decisive. I don't care. I think it's fine the way that it is on the like defensive side.
Okay, you're wrong. I think the guy who earns the penalty.
Yeah.
If the penalty is converted, he gets the penalty drawn, which is basically an assist. If the penalty is
so you're giving him a decisive for that?
Well, we are now, yeah. If the penalty is converted.
No, you're going to give him one because you get to rewrite the rules.
Sure.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. If it's missed, he gets a big chance created. Because he created this, because it's a big chance missed if you miss it.
Okay.
If you miss the penalty, it's a big chance missed. I'm fine giving the extra for a penalty miss. If there was another scenario, big chance missed. I don't know.
Or they make it. How about what if when taking the PK he passes it and somebody scores? You no longer get the do you no longer get the big chance created? Because he passed it?
Well,
because you don't get a
you're creating a big chance.
What's that?
You should get a big chance created and an assist for that.
You don't get a BCC though for a hockey assist.
Oh, you mean the one who drew it? Sorry.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, you don't get anything.
Your rule sucks. Because of that one fringe outlier scenario that I just made up. I'm fine with it. It's better
than... It's
your
fault for having a player on a team that would pass on a penalty.
I mean, Messi did it, but okay.
And never again. Anyway. That's what it was. Yes. Thank you, Tuggy. If they miss the penalty, then the player who conceded the penalty gets an error led to shot. Thank you, Tuggy. So instead of a penalty conceded, it's just the error led to shot. It just makes sense.
You were still bad. You still did something bad.
And you get the error led to shot, which is an absurd. This is like -5, -10. It's an absurd number.
It's only minus. It's -5.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's super annoying.
Yeah.
And I found out yesterday, or not yesterday, last weekend, that on an error led to shot, the shot does not have to be on target. It's just a shot. I guess that makes sense. It's not error led to shot on goal.
I hate to break it to you. That's exactly what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skazmo said he has this written perfectly. I remember he posted that too, and Zora was like, nah. No thanks.
Let's see here.
Where the hell are you going? Like you were going under your desk to find out.
No, it's just on my lower screen. So +5 for AA for a penalty won, -5 for a penalty conceded, -5 for a penalty missed. I mean, it's just another. Just a bunch
of numbers.
Yeah, just another opinion that somebody else has on this one. I think we can all agree the way that Sorare does it now is wrong, and they should change it to the one of the ones that we're saying now, or Skazmo saying, or just anyone. I think the community is right on this one.
Has that ever happened before? Has the community ever been right?
I don't know.
I think that's all the lies I tell myself.
Is this a lie that we're telling ourselves right now? Does Zora actually have this right? Because he's actually defended it before.
He did. He absolutely defended it.
Yeah.
I remember reading it, his like defense, and being like, oh yeah. And it was like 3 days later, I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. And like it was just gone by then.
Yeah.
Jack doesn't like the midfielders losing 2 points for conceding a goal. I do remember when they changed the matrix and they made it 4 for defenders and only 3 for goalies. I remember Trippin' B was like, that doesn't make any sense. And they were like, yep, there you go. See ya.
I've seen the argument that if they get -2 for conceding a goal, then they should get clean sheet points if the team gets a clean sheet. I don't agree with that.
You think it's fine how it is?
Yeah.
Jesus, Andy.
Yeah. I want to see Carlos Gil getting his -2 points every time the Revs concede a goal. Love seeing that. It's like one of my favorite things to see on the platform.
So you can continue to lie to me or you can admit otherwise. But have you ever had the thought where you were like, I kind of want a Carlos Heel, but I'm so dug in on this anti-Carlos Heel thing that I just can't? Like, have you ever been like, man, it would have been nice to have that card?
I have standards, so no. That was the easiest question you've ever answered me. Like, I have morals and I have like personal standards. I will never ever own his card, and I mean there are equivalent or better cards that I can own, like a Ricky Poosh.
What? For those, I don't even remember myself. So if you could remind me and everyone here, what is the reason for the Carlos Heel heat?
He's just a baby. That's it.
That's it.
He's just a big baby.
Do you own Neymar?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of a baby too, isn't he? I think also too, Sean loves him so much, so I feel like I have to hate him. Like that's definitely part of it.
So if that was the only part, I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
Blue Tomato said, would my wife's account, burner account, sorry, buy him? I'll have to have a conversation with her and make sure that she never buys him. My wife.
It's like one of those self-exclusions. Tuggy said forwards not getting points for tackles and defenders not getting points for being fouled are bad. I agree with that too.
Yeah. I mean, a tackle is a tackle. Even if you just want to give them a point, give them a point. Give them something.
I think the argument is like it doesn't happen enough, so it doesn't matter. But it's like, but when it happens, if that's the case, just give them the point.
Right. And two, you're giving them points for a double-double, triple-double. Like that contributes to them getting a double-double. So
yes.
And we're not going to give them points for it? Seems crazy.
Mike would just like you to confirm that you would insta-sell Carlos Heel if you want him.
Oh, absolutely. Like whatever the floor is, 20% haircut. Yeah. If you ever see me win one, just make me an offer.
Mike Basson said, join me in calling him Carlos over the heel, which those
I
who
just
call
like
him
calling him
Carlos Gill wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Braden said he's Bruno Fernandes, but in an MLS. Andy, do you refer to Major League Soccer as the MLS?
Oh, man. I was hoping it was going to be – I was hoping you were going to talk about your Bruno Fernandes card.
No, fuck. I hate that card so much. God, I hate it.
Dude, I love questions like this. Like, I'm going to say that this question is a lot like you referring to your team as we won this weekend, but we can talk about that lie here.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah.
I do call it the MLS sometimes, and I do it like not thinking about it. And I know it's wrong and I shouldn't do it, but I call it the MLS all the time.
So you know it's wrong though.
Not as I'm doing it.
Right.
But I know it's wrong.
So I never call it the MLS. And if for some reason it happens, I'm just like, I'm so angry at myself.
Mm-hmm.
So did you read Sorare's announcement today about cards coming back?
No, they call it the MLS, don't they?
With the MLS back in action on Sorare, who will be your first 2024 pick. And I saw that and I let it go. And I was like, I could just as easily quote tweet this and being like, it's not the MLS, but I was like, I'm going to let it go. And my good friend, Adam Zadroik from RotoWire, did it for me. And he said, the MLS grammar police are about to have a field day. And I was like, he's right. I've never felt so seen before on a tweet, but I still haven't done it. But
I love when somebody else does the dirty work for you, because now you can just
thankfully.
Yeah.
But the use of the MLS, I feel like, is something that MLS would not want people to do. Like, I don't think that they even do it. And if they do it, maybe I've been lying to myself this whole time. But for how much Sorare need to get like league approval, and then they send like their announcement tweet with the MLS, just like,
Yeah. Jack wants to know, what do you call it instead? It's just MLS.
Just MLS, Major League Soccer. Tuggy said, here's a lie. It's not called soccer. I do love that Soccer Saturday thing. Do you refer to Major League Baseball as the MLB?
I'm sure I do.
Yeah, I think I do too, though.
But like, these are tough ones because I don't catch myself doing it. So like, I don't know. I need to think more about the way I speak and pronounce things.
Yeah, Mike said, didn't Sorare also call it the EPL? I think the EPL calls it the EPL. Although, I'll be honest, I almost never call it EPL or English Premier League. I just call it Premier League or the Prem. And I think people just know what I'm talking about. Mike said British people like alliteration, so soccer Saturday works better than football Saturday. But just move the show to Friday. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
God.
Scosmo says, was it a capital T? The undercase MLS is fine, but the capital MLS is wrong. No, they're both wrong. There's any use of T, H, and E in front of MLS is wrong. Yeah, Jack says it's just the Premier League. I should also, for how much I call Shaforkle, I should call this Jafork. Is that right? J4CK, Jafork?
Sure.
That's what I'm going with. Yep.
Laird, I think that the 4 is supposed to be an A, though.
No, it 100%.
Like league speak, you know?
No, yeah. It's definitely an A. I should actually accentuate it even more because there's a space between the C and the K. Jafork. There he is. There's Shaforkle. See? Anyway. So Scosmo says, are you going to watch the MLS playoffs? So I think that the actually refers to playoffs. Although you wouldn't say, are you going to watch? Yeah,
are you going to watch the playoffs? Are you going to watch the EPL playoffs?
Right. You're going to watch the Jupiler playoffs? It's not the Jupiler. Oh, I guess it is a Jupiler League. I don't know. We need like a...
Do we need
like not calling it quote the MLS? It's the quote MLS.
We'll get an English professor on our next show to solve some of these things.
Good idea. Good idea. Where did soccer come from? Anyway.
Well, Trippin actually talked about that on one of his shows. Where soccer came from, the word soccer.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what is it like?
Everyone's like, it's the Football Association.
Yeah, it has to do with like rugby or something, I think, right?
Who knows?
Yeah. We don't care. We're just gonna.
I literally couldn't.
We're gonna feel the name, and that's what we're gonna call it.
Kevin Hurd says it doesn't seem to piss me off as much as gas for a global all-star. That does bother me.
Well, the good thing for you is gas is going away, and you're never gonna have to deal with it again. So,
Andy, gas hasn't existed in like 2 years, and yet everybody keeps saying it. The global from All-Star literally has not been on the site for 2 years.
So it's just ass.
As.
Sorry. As.
Yes. Literally. Yeah.
Larry, what teams do you refer to as we? Villanova, is that it? I think we've had this conversation before, I think. It's just Villanova because you went to school there.
Yes. And so this came up with Scosmo because Scosmo, I apologize for exposing this if he didn't want, but Scosmo is a West Ham season ticket holder. And he says we for West Ham. And we were like, that seems okay. And other people are like, no, you're not on the team. And it's like, no, but he's like paying to be in the club. So it's we. And somebody felt like it was different that it was like that I went to Villanova. And so I referred to we, but like, I basically did the same thing as Scosmo. I just paid money to go there so that I could call it we.
How about this? What if your team has a publicly funded stadium? You're we now. You're we now, baby.
Only if you're referring to the stadium, not the team. How about that?
Well, the team plays in the stadium. It's their home.
But you didn't pay for the team. You paid for the stadium. So you could sit down and be like, these are our seats. But the team on the field is
they're just paying the rent, right? So
yeah, that's exactly what it is. The team plays in my stadium.
Yeah.
It's our stadium. Yeah. Jack said, whatever game I have a player from my Sorare teams is we for 90 minutes. I do like that.
Yeah, I definitely do that.
Yeah. Toby says I should be able to use we for Midtjylland. I haven't yet.
I love Tobias as I pay for Apple TV, so I'm we with Messi. Outstanding.
That's a good one. You pay for Apple TV did you get the MLS package yet?
I did, yeah.
Day one, you're just all in.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of necessary, right? If we're going to be watching all this MLS, kind of need it. I mean, we know that you're not going to watch any of the games, so you don't need it. But
so, I was talking about this with Gator Guy the other day. Do you think watching football actually gives you an advantage over people who do not watch on Sorare?
Of course, yeah.
Why?
Because you see things and you hear things that they might only talk about during the broadcast. Either the return of a player, or you're watching the game and you see somebody get hurt, or you see somebody that's just maybe not putting effort in, or annoyed with his teammates, or just like lots of just little things that I think are helpful to just the performance of a player. Granted, those are like outliers and they're tiny and they're not it's not that big of a deal, but some of those little things do matter. But like Limpy says, it's more than data only, and that's me agreeing with Limpy on that. But I think it's like 90 to 95% data is what matters. I think it matters mostly. The data mostly matters, but there's all the other little things.
Jack says, is me staying up until 3 a.m. to watch Messi give me an advantage rather than going to bed?
Depends. Like, an advantage of what? Definitely not an advantage at work the next day. Although they play on Saturdays mostly, so you're probably good there.
Is that why you don't have any J League and K League cards? Because you don't watch the J League and K League?
That's more enjoyment.
Oh, those are fun leagues. What do you mean?
Well, the enjoyment of watching your players play.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
like, who determines whether a league's fun? You said it's a fun league, but what's a not fun league? I think everybody can just make that claim. Oh, it's a fun league. Hey, yeah, no, buy players from that league. It's a fun league. Okay, Croatian league. I heard it's a pretty fun league.
I have heard that.
I've not heard that, but okay.
Oh, Skosmo definitely has said that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch enough leagues to know what's fun and what's not. I've watched some games that were not fun at all in every league, pretty much.
Yeah.
Scud said, I think time is important, not specifically watching the game. Scrolling through Twitter for hours on fan opinion, news pieces, local journalists, et cetera, can just be just as advantageous.
That's fair.
I bet going through fan Twitter is never actually a good idea. I don't know what you're ever learning there.
It gives you some sentiment, seeing where the fan base is leaning. I mean, hey,
I think we're getting very close to this being a lie we tell ourselves.
If an entire fan base is calling for them to bench a goalkeeper, there's pressure on that goalkeeper to get benched, and nobody wants to be holding a Sorare goalkeeper that gets benched. So
that's fair. Oh, it's the greatest one right here. The biggest lie people tell themselves. Sorare is just a game. Bravo, Skosmo.
But isn't it?
Totally. It's just Skosmo lying to himself. But it's a lie. Blue Tomato said you could argue fan Twitter is as wrong as your own biased opinion.
Fair. Very fair.
That was a good one, Skosmo. I'm not going to let that end the stream, though. That would be too convenient. We covered a lot of topics today.
We did. I want to get more into this calendar stuff and the way more things are measured. I know that you do not seem all that interested, but I'm going to really dig in this week, I think. Like, what does that Chinese calendar look like?
So, I've actually thought about this with time, like hours of the day, that like, why couldn't we just all have the same time and we just do shit at different times of the day?
Yeah.
Like
I do shit at 1 a.m. and in Germany they're doing shit at 9 a.m.
Right. Like if everyone sits down for lunch at noon in the UK, and then I just, or then 5 or 6 hours later I'm having lunch. Why can't I just have lunch at 6 p.m., 5 p.m. and then
I've got a 6 p.m. lunch. You've got the noon lunch.
Right.
Do you think there'd be a fight over who got the like if we were to change everything, like who got the good times for things? Like I would want my lunch to be at noon.
Yeah. I think it was on Make It a Double Double when they had the Sorare Down Under guys on, where they were talking about English like imperialism and how they decided that like Greenwich Mean Time, like that's the time, and everyone else is either an hour, whatever, however many hours from there. And it's a good call. They called dibs and they won.
I like Mike's lie that he tells himself, next week is my week. Not this game week, but next game week.
I'll get it there. Surface says, has the game become too complicated? I literally can't figure out a plan moving forward with a big percentage of my gallery. That's really funny because I've seen so many people say the opposite. Like the game's so much easier now.
Surface, you need to make some decisions. You're waffling is what you're doing. You are waffling right now. You need to make some decisions and start acting on them.
I like that. Back to the serious conversation. Braden said, I'd love a 6 a.m. lunch. You get off work at like noon and could enjoy the daylight. See, I guess it would, I don't know how it would work that way. So Redeco's not letting me get away with the call dibs, and instead England invaded half the world in order to get the time. I mean, we already do it with the hemisphere. Like it's summer in Australia now, man.
Well, that's not really by choice, right?
Sure it is. It's whatever we call it. Why couldn't they just have winter, but their winter is warm?
Shit. And like my night is your day.
We're going to have to start like a philosophy podcast here.
You really got me thinking.
You're going to be thinking all day about that one. We haven't even had any drinks. Maybe. Daniel says, I feel like the game is as complicated or simple as you want. I will say that Surface's gallery probably makes it more complicated because he has access to so many more competitions.
Yes.
So,
and he's probably halfway into a lot of different things and has like lots of halfway built in-season stuff, and it's complicated, I'm sure. But come on, Surface, get to work. Yeah. You said you took the day off work today. You told me that earlier today. You DM'd me that you're off work today. Now's your time. Now's your moment to get some stuff done.
I love that he took the day off just to sit home and watch us talk about it. Tuggy's telling me that it is winter in Australia. So they do have a warm winter. Scosmo said, have you ever considered that colors are not the same through another's eyes? What I call blue, you see as red, but call it blue because we just agree.
When I was little, or not when I was little, when I was first a parent.
3 days ago.
When I was first a parent, like when I first had one of my daughters, I asked my wife, what if we taught them the colors wrong? And she did not like that. But just be like, oh, that's like, it'd be like my Sorare scores. Like, well, maybe not, because everything's green. Fix it, Laird. Everything is green.
Yep, I'm getting right on that.
But what if I just told them that 27 Sorare score? That's not red. That's green.
Yeah. So I have actually thought about this. And it happened because I was talking to, this is so dumb. I was talking to a girl in college who claimed she was colorblind, and I didn't believe her.
Okay.
And I think she was just like she would see, what I would see is blue and what everyone would see is blue. She was like, oh yeah, that's orange. And I'm like, it's not orange, it's blue. And she's like, no, but I see orange. And I'm like, no. If you have seen this color, you know that color everyone else calls blue. So don't tell me it's orange. You don't know what orange looks like.
Right. Was she doing?
So yes,
do you think she was doing it for attention?
Yes.
Like, hey, look at me. There's something wrong with me.
That girl's so hot. How come? Because she's colorblind. Oh.
Oh God.
Is this the most SorareAndrews ever?
Probably.
Okay. Let's see. Just teach your kids one word in a different language, and you're in for a lot of fun.
Ooh, that would be.
Oh, here we go. Big Gustavo said, I'm colorblind. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. It's mostly just not seeing contrast. So I've heard about this, and we have discussed this. So every time we make like a small change to anything that has color on Sorare data, either on the website or on the app, we change it to like an icon, and people are like, just go back to the colors. Big Gustavo is the reason why.
Hetlingen said, just teach your kids one word in a different language, and you're in for a lot of fun. What if the one word you teach them is a color that's wrong? So, Roja is actually yellow.
You're like, Rojo, yeah. Yeah, see, big fan of the icons. You're welcome. Yeah.
Can you? I'm gonna put you on notice right here in front of the entire community.
Yeah.
Can you give us an answer when the colors on Sorare, the scores, are not going to be all green anymore? Everything's green, man.
It should be March 29th when the scarcity bonuses are gone.
So is that the problem right now? You're adding the scarcity bonus in, and
I think so. But I also think we just match Sorare. Which I could be wrong about and may not actually be the right decision anyway. Yeah.
I mean, I know that my gallery and my players are just so good, but even like looking down and seeing a full Santos Laguna stack and they're all green, something's not right there.
No, that's not right. Yeah, I don't know when, like, why that changed. Because it wasn't always like that, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Halogen said, I despised the icons for about 20 minutes when they were introduced. Now I don't care. Yeah. That's what happens with every new thing. People are like, oh, this is terrible. And then 20 minutes later, you're like, hey, remember the old ones? And they were like, nope. No, I don't. Andy, I just got an offer on a card. And we're going to finish on you deciding whether I take this or not.
Okay.
Unless you say yes, and then I'll just ignore it. I have a new season Hyungmin Sun limited card. Currently on the market for $120 US.
Okay.
I had been offered half in cash and a Mohamed Salah old season limited card. Should I accept it?
How much was the cash?
$60, half of my asking price.
And Mo Salah?
And Mo Salah, who I don't even know what he goes for.
Do you care? Like is he a card that you care about at all?
The one I'm selling or the one I'm getting?
No, Salah. Like, would you enjoy that card?
No.
No.
Okay.
No. Fuck him.
Wow. That's not one of the options. But I'll go with I only want money.
There you go. There you go.
Appreciate that. Blue Tomato said the European Accessibility Act handles these things in 2025. That's right. And we're handling it in 2024.
What, teaching your kids colors incorrectly? They handle that?
No.
Oh.
No. Yeah. You got anything else?
I don't.
Any more lies you want to tell the people?
We'll be back for part 2 next week. I've got more lies. but I don't have time for them right now.
Okay, there you go. That might be a lie itself. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Apparently that's when I complain. That's what Andy said at the beginning here. So come back tomorrow for an hour of Laird complaining. And yeah, see you around.